All right, so weekend, and there's been a lot. I was like, and as a full field event weekend, all I gotta say is what is going on with the beefs this year in hip hop. This is wild. This is crazy. Uh, I guess I will try to do go in chronologically of everything that happened for me. I was like, let's go with the Drake and the AI one. Uh, One, I was like, I don't have a problem with him doing the AI thing here. I was like, I feel like it was kind of a thing because everybody's talking about the other disses either from Kendrick or from Drake that was like AI stuff. So I feel like he's having fun with it. Also, I don't think it's that big of a deal considering the people. Like to me, it depends on who the person is. And I was like, since this is Drake, I was like, Drake has done funny things. I was like, his demeanor about it is very petty, funny, trolling kind of thing. So to me, I'm like, for him to basically have AI Tupac that is basically trying to give a pep talk to Kendrick while also dissing Kendrick at the same time, and then doing Snoop, even though Snoop is alive, that kind of thing. I think this is all funny. Um, and kind of like this wasn't. It's a diss, but it's not a diss like his dropping "Give Me 50." This is a diss where it's just like you're in the playground and somebody just keeps on throwing jokes at you where it's just like, oh, it's like, oh, you talking about the dude that mama like this, oh, you talking about the dude that's like, that's just sound like it kind of was where it's just like, oh, you can't do nothing unless Taylor, until Taylor says so. Oh, you gotta go and write, gotta go ahead and write because we just waiting, you ain't doing nothing anyway, it was just really just trying to poke the bear. But yeah, I was like, now don't get me wrong. I was like, he also used a couple stuff in there to try to make it sound like if I make fun of myself, you can't make fun of me. And well, I was like, that is a technique because I was like, I felt like a lot of us, people use jokes, but when we say jokes, a lot of time it's something that we use to mask whatever we dealing with or or to take the air out of what you about to say. Because it's like if I laugh at it and if I talk about it, guess what? When you do it, it's gonna be like okay, and uh, and now I granted some of the stuff that I guess like I seen people talking about that I was like a little bit more serious stuff, and that's I'll let everybody else deal with that because I haven't gone in depth in order to say anything about any of that. But I was like, I'm here for all types of everything because I'm like, it ain't me that's involved. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm not a stand of anybody here. I like all parties or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, this is sort of also makes a little bit of like a like dang it, J. Cole, because I was like, good. I understand. We understand about the whole piece thing. That's what we're getting past. I was just saying that you see, it's not really like it's never gonna get to an actual violent spot. So it's just kind of like I just feel like at this point everybody else is just all coming out here with this stuff. Uh, but yeah, no, that's fine. Uh, I was like some other thing that I came to is also like rapper Poop Shiesty is over here uh coming at J. Cole and his camp. Which I mean, hey, once you sort of apologize like that, and I feel that everybody thinks that basically it's like that's frowned upon, then you're gonna get all these call outs and stuff. And can I mean, I guess he can say something. I was like, I mean, because he said Kendrick, and I was like, if he considered Kendrick the only one better than him or in some form of that, then everybody else beneath. So I guess you can run at everybody else. It just had that many people gonna believe it. Um, yeah, but I was like, but hearing him over the control, and then he was doing I forget the place, but it's a freestyle over there. I was like, all right, okay, cool. I'm here for this as well too, and especially someone I don't actually know. I don't really know. Like I've heard of him, but I haven't heard nothing of from him or anything like that. But I also seen them in the rap. I was like, okay, so dude can spit. I was like, I could. I was like, that at least gives me a little bit of a and to be like, okay, I'm willing to check out his stuff instead of you just being like, oh, he made this song, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, it's just a club song. I don't really care that nothing to do that for me. Uh, I'm trying to figure out should I talk about this one next or talk about this one last. Okay, we're just gonna talk about it. I didn't know Chris Brown Quavo. I didn't know nothing about this, and then all of a sudden it hit, and the diss track happened, and I was like, listen, Chris Brown. I was like, listen, when he first started rapping, I was like, I didn't know. I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, I was like, this is good for a guy that's singing. And then he did more rap, and I was like, oh, he is actually about this. And also there was that weird phase like in the later 2000s where like singers was just like like Usher did some raps and stuff, and where it was just like it's like oh okay, I guess because people are like I don't need you sing song dudes, I can just do it on myself and I'll do my own vocal. They're like okay cool, we don't need you either, we'll rap. I don't know, but Chris Brown basically threw out a track that was just a flamethrower to his heart and soul to where I'm like, now that track, that stuff there is something where I'm like, now that could turn violent and bloody, except for I was like, look, I don't know about Quavo, but I'm just saying, I was like, Chris Brown does not seem like he has all the mental faculties in order to this for it just to be something simple as like I'm gonna do something. Cause I'm like, you say that, and I feel like he's gonna do something, and I'm like, that's where you got to really think about: do I really want these problems in life that somebody else is waiting for something to happen, versus you having to be like, am I going to make it happen? I was like, look, I was like, you ain't got to be ready if you are. I was like, you ain't got to get ready if you are already ready. And he's already ready. So that's where you got to figure out that level of do I feel like fighting? Because you don't want to fight somebody that likes to fight. You don't want to fight somebody that's waiting for somebody to basically start something to fight. That's not the people you fight with. I was like, you need to understand your peer group, and that's not your peer group. Either way, and the reason I'm not really talking about like too much of these songs because y'all don't all heard them. It's just me just going about it from how I felt about it. But I mean, I like the beat was hard. I was like the flow was dope. Uh, the stuff he said in there was hella foul. I was like, but his lyrics was also there too in a way that I was like, I bumped this in the car, and then hearing what started it with Quavo's, I was like, I didn't. I was like, I'm good. I don't want to hear that. I was like, man, and yes, I probably shouldn't have heard the Chris Brown one first, but I wouldn't have liked the Quavo one anyway. That's all I'm trying to say. Either way, he did get bodied by a sing song rapping. Anyway, that was in a different. That was over here. And don't get me. And at some point in my head, I'm like, there. I don't think these are gonna cross. But if it did, that'd be wild. Um, and then Kanye just decided to remix like that, and rap on the future Metro Boomin song, and I was like, and to be honest, at first it was just like regular Kanye, just saying stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, cool. Then he started taking the shots at Drake, and the reason I was like, I'm gonna go to this one, and I was like, the reason is because I'm like, him with Drake, it is sort of what it is. Everybody's piling on Drake now. Everybody talking about Drake. It's really where he's over here coming at J. Cole, where he's like basically, your music makes everybody dry if you're a woman because you got that music that's they don't want to listen to because they ain't about to do nothing to your music. And that's never where you want to be. Don't get me wrong, I love J. Cole music. I was like, all apologies aside. But I will also say that outside of like some of his earlier songs, yeah, that's not in his catalog. Now, granted, I was like, I don't think there's any of that also in Kendrick's really catalog like that. Um, and it's funny because like that would be more in the Drake's catalog, even though people are like we don't listen to Drake, but yet he's at the top of stuff. That's neither here nor there. I want to see, but I would want to see what that beef would be. J. Cole and Kanye beef. Just because I don't know what J. Cole could do to Kanye. Because Kanye's already just out with his crazy in a way that makes him sort of bulletproof. And Kanye be saying some wild shit that makes it like, well, J. Cole, you didn't say anything crazy at all to Kendrick, and that got your spirit and your sleep messed up. I don't know what you would have to do for Kanye in order for it to affect him, and it don't affect you, is what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, no, Kanye's in this now, and I mean, I don't know why. Like, I mean, like I heard some other people talk that him and J. Cole had some previous stuff, and he never really liked Drake. But I was like, the time of being now, hey, I was like, if this gets everybody and everybody dropping new stuff and all this other stuff, hey, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, it I was like, maybe I'll say that for like a whole. I gotta think about it, but I was like, I'll say it for right now. Conspiracy. Everybody's in on this. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I was like, maybe I'll put more together on it, but hey. Anyway, that's my thoughts on just all the beats and all the views of just the song that came out. I was like, cause y'all done already heard of it. Y'all don't need me to repeat it and be less in depth than all the other people who listen to songs and do all this, the coding and all this other stuff. These are just my opinions versus their stuff with actual stuff that they hear, know, research, and all that other stuff. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see you for some more rap stuff, hip hop beats, whatever you want to say. So until then, peace.